way with like the beginning of the end for the.
And we are live. Hello, everybody. Today we are short one player due to unknown reasons to me. So today, our little helper takes effect. Hayner gets to step in. I gotta find the rest of his stats to finish him up, but I can... Actually, I believe he is set up.
Also, Owl Buddy set up.
Owl Buddy should be available to use somewhere. If I can find Owl Buddy.
Speaking of which, Owl Buddy requires a token.
I'm adding Owl Buddy now, I apologize. So, hello everyone in the chat. Hello, my amazing players. And hello to anyone in the future. I can't spell what the fuck. Not Owlbear.
Owl Bears.
Owlbear Buddy. So, while I'm trying to get Owl Buddy to work, anyone want to recap what happened last session?
I semi-remember that we came to this church. We found out that the son of the priest was never properly cured of vampirism, and he's locked up in the basement right now. And we had decided that we needed to purge him from existence because he's a threat to everyone around him.
And at this point, the father is currently a gibbering mess.
Because I had an amazing Arcana check and managed to convince him that his son was incurable.
At which point I offered to, get rid for him.
There's actually... Yeah, I just gotta fix Hayner's little quick bar, then I'll be ready for everything else, okay?
Alright. While you're doing that, for anyone watching, if you notice in the doobly-doo down below the video, I
The
forgot
description?
the word for it. Yeah, that one. It slipped my mind. There is a GoFundMe in there for my family. My dad has been in the ICU for 37 days, though thankfully he leaves tomorrow. But they have racked up a medical bill of $3.2 million. Obviously, I will be doing everything that I can to help them out while still being able to live where I do. And the GoFundMe is for honestly a fraction of what they needed, only $10,000. If you can, all I ask is just a few bucks or just a shale on Twitter for it, or whatever media you use predominantly. If I can, I would like to avoid having my parents file bankruptcy and lose their house due to having it on a mortgage already. If you can't donate, I'm not going to be against you or anything. I will still thank you for simply listening and sharing it or whatever. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, as we've seen with... Sorry. Mrs. took a sniff of my beer and her reaction was funny. But as we've seen with the Odinsons, these little bits of help can make a huge impact. $20, $30, hell, even $5 can make a huge difference to someone. And I know it doesn't directly affect me or Megan or a lot of people, but it's something that would mean a lot to all of us if we could help these people out. Honestly,
It's also quite frustratingly
Oh,
goddamn fucking awful and pisses me the fuck off.
it's
yeah, definitely. It's $3.2 million,
That's
and
that's
they'll
that's that's, that's too fucking much.
it
but
is, and the
honestly,
insurance
share it
company
on YouTube if you want. Share it anywhere, literally
yeah,
anywhere we could get the message out. And if one person sees it, that's one more person that could possibly start a chain reaction.
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it, and the reason why it's so much for them is the insurance company isn't going to pay for a whole lot because he went in for an elective surgery to have hit the vertebra in his neck fixed. It wasn't an essential surgery. It didn't. His life wasn't at risk, at least beforehand, and because of that, the insurance company is, well, refusing to be an insurance company.
There's
I despise our for-profit system. This is why I'm for single payer, because it avoids this shit.
we are
His
talking
I mean
500,000 people a year going into bankruptcy for this kind of garbage, and we're talking thousands, maybe even millions of people living with very preventable, treatable, or even curable diseases or injuries that don't have to be like that.
That they go into debt over, which is why this
And
pisses off the Canadian.
and some people even die out of it. Some people have killed themselves out of this medical debt. With all of that being said, I believe we should get into the session.
Yes, I don't want to be angry anymore. Let's just kill
That's
a vampire.
that's why I have
yeah,
this beautiful mead sitting next to me, which I actually do need a picture of.
I actually forgot to buy booze because I just wanted to get home.
I don't blame you. This bottle is creepy and beautiful. Try not to get my foot in the picture. Don't ask me why.
do you have weird feet?
No, my feet are very banged up from something. I don't know what the hell it is. It's not athlete's foot because nothing's working from athlete's foot. But who knows?
Also, Ziggy, your workplace pisses me off too because they treat you like garbage. So
Uh,
The
Mrs.
Canadian
is
is
just
very
sitting
angry.
here nodding. Yeah.
You
So,
know things are bad when the Canadian is getting mad.
what are you talking about? The Canadian is always bad.
That's a
this
problem. You're a Canadian.
Yeah, so your point?
So
maple syrup and
common,
happiness.
yeah, common joke. Canadians are happy people.
Alright, so we got
Talking to the wrong Canadian.
Father Dovovich here. Just kind of standing, rocking a little bit back and forth, holding his hands fidgeting on top of this trap door that you hear the son's screaming coming from downstairs. Quick question: does anyone remember how long it's been since the son was bitten?
Um,
A
if I
week?
want, I want to say it's been a week or two.
It's been 3 years.
What?
Oh.
Wow.
Well, that's already way too late. It's time to purge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found in the notebook that it's been about 3 years.
Ah,
I was off by
I thought it was like
a
a couple
large
weeks.
magnitude.
That was a DM mistake on the original playthrough that Nympheus and I went through.
oh.
Okay.
S-
So I correct myself.
Okay, so last time it was 3 years. Now that we know, and it
It's-
wasn't a week, so it needs to be
It needs to be purged with
holy radiance.
that. I was gonna say. I was just gonna say with unholy rage from the party because I'm pretty sure Shumpier is now pissed off that this old man has been threatening this entire village for 3 years.
Not only that, that his son may be dead and it's just a vampire in its place, but it's still in the form of a child. Like that would anger me just on its own. Because I want to help children.
Actually, apparently the
So yes, I'm
notes it
very
said
mad.
that the son was like 18 or so.
The son was a young adult.
Oh well, still, it's someone's child.
Oh shit. I need to
This
grab the
is
monster. No, wait, no, I don't. I'm not
this
used to
is
roll 20.
this is the evil of Strad von Zarovich.
So, the first.
Zarok the DM said.
Mostly, I'm gonna ask if the priest has any holy water or something I can put on my weapons.
He's. Go ahead, make a persuasion check real quick. See if you can knock him out of his unintelligible gibbering. That's enough.
Alright.
Anyone else want to try to convince him?
Anyone with a charisma higher than 1.
Uh.
Nope. I will
Chunhua,
try.
Chunhua, you still see Hainer kind of scratching at this invisible barrier at the wall.
Nope.
Damn it.
So
Okay, we ain't convinced him of shit.
you can see that the barrier seems to be fading, and he could get his hands through. What are you gonna do?
I would try to help him, but I don't know how.
Do you need someone to pull him through?
Am I supposed to just pull him?
There's a number of ways you could help him. I already thought this through. To put it in this way, you can roll a what would it be? Lore, history. Let me check the. It would be an Arcana check, actually. Arcana or religion, whatever's higher.
Okay.
Oh no.
Nat, Nat 1 from the mage. Chunhua, you notice that since you are in holy ground, things of certain things cannot enter without a proper invitation.
Oh. So I was like, tell him to get in this bitch, I guess.
Well, here's an issue. Were you the last one to turn him on? Because he is a construct.
No, I think it was Shove.
I'm gonna walk out upon hearing my name.
Alright?
Please let Hamer in.
Emo, come on, what you doing? We need ya.
As you call upon him, he seems to stumble forth from pressing this invisible barrier and walks in.
Gonna go back in, make sure the police doesn't do anything rash.
He's kind of has his forehead pressed against the wall like a sick dog.
Thanks.
With a few clumsy steps, Hainer follows pretty close to you. So,
Gonna just say loud enough to have everyone hear me. Should we look for any holy oil first or holy water first or just
up to the party.
I don't think holy water may help us. I mean, if we could have silvered our weapons, that would.
There is a silvered short sword around here.
It's mine.
And you can always you can always ask to roll a check if you want to know how much your character knows about vampires. Spawn or otherwise, they are vampires.
I will. What kind of check would that be? Arcana?
I believe so. Or if you want to know if holy water would help, it'd be religion.
Quick
Um,
question.
Okay.
All silver weapons considered magical?
No,
No.
they can simply hurt.
Okay.
They could simply hurt the magical beings and enchantments.
vampires are undead, right?
Yep.
Why
Okay,
I
I
asked?
have Hunter's Bane, which gives me advantage on checks as well as intelligence, wisdom checks and intelligence checks to recall information about them.
All right, you could do one as well if you wish. I mean, we already have an 18 on the board.
Oh shit, I didn't see it.
I mean, you never know.
Why I
Right.
asked if they're magical? I can bond. I do have the soul weapon,
That is magical.
so I could hell even get a dual wield for 25 as well of silver swords.
Do you need help clicking?
Advantage means I get the better roll, right?
Yes. You should be rolling advantage normally.
Oh, I know.
Because since you're on mobile, I wanted to give you an easier time. For Zal, you know that vampires are weakened in running water, and that they can stick to surfaces. It'd be a knowledge based check.
I already clicked
It'd be
just base intelligence.
all right. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Well, you never know if you have a bonus to Arcana.
I mean, I do.
Click that then. And you know that their bite has a powerful necrotic effect. Alright, you got an 18 as well. It has a powerful necrotic effect that can permanently weaken someone until they rest. As for holy water, you are fairly sure that the holy water can it can keep their wounds from closing as long as the water is in contact with them.
What about radiant damage?
Radiant damage is considered a magical damage. So you assume that it would have a very similar effect to holy water, since holy water does do radiant damage as well.
So, thought. What if both Azimar just went full Scourge mode before we went down there and added radiant damage to our attack? Genius.
Alright. For Chunhua, you notice that these beings are resistant to necrotic and any normal weapon that is not magical. But silver weapons do have what you consider the same effectiveness as on a human. These creatures are very stealthy and intelligent, given who they once were. So, at this point, all you have left is to deal with the old man standing on the door.
Before we do, I will request short hours so I can get me some silver weapons. Y'all can get ready and give him some more time to grieve.
You're gonna go out and silver your weapons.
I don't even need to go anywhere. all I need is just a short rest, and I can
I
summon
mean,
a soul weapon and bond it to my soul gem.
All right. It's up to how you want to do. I believe at this point, Hainer doesn't actually have a weapon.
He does not. I could easily silver a weapon, summon a dual silver
He has a
weapon.
long sword and a very sharp stick that it looks like he just ripped something off and shaped it to a javelin.
I have a spell called
I'm
Dragon's
I'm
Breath. I can touch people and give them fire breathing.
All right. Well, it's up to you how you want to go about this and when you want to deal with the old man just kind of standing on this door. That seems to be the only way down.
no, I don't think I. Even if I do silver, I can't give him one because only I could use it,
Well,
and half of my wish points right out the gate probably isn't the smartest idea.
you can always gather and converse amongst yourselves on what to do. At this point, I would advise it.
Yeah.
So, Chump,
Yes.
if I gave you and our buddy my touched you while I was casting my spell of dragon breath, what element would you want it to be?
Probably radiant if it's a vampire.
Well, it's dragon breath, therefore it will be a dragon breath weapon.
Okay, my bad. It's weak against. Weak. I'd say file. I like file.
That is perfectly acceptable. And our buddy will be able to use it too, because it doesn't count as an attack.
Oh, it's cheating.
Remember
It's
by
not cheating.
remember by technicality, Shump. Until Hainer is shut off and reset, you technically order him. You don't control him. You order him. Okay.
Okay.
So if you wish for, let's say, him to have a new weapon, or for him to retrieve something, you can order him to use or to do that.
Okay. Oh, how about this then? Uh, since Hano is a robot, or not
A
a robot, my
construct.
bad. Yeah, construct. He can't be, as far as we know it, he can't be toned by a vampire. And not have him constantly try to grapple.
So
He
we
cannot move.
could just have him stuck in front of the vampire, grappling, while we hit really hard.
Him from every other angle. Yes.
I like this plan.
Shunhua?
All I know is I'm ready to fight this old man if he doesn't move and let me in the basement.
Okay, hold up. I'm ready to go and end the child's suffering
Um,
to come up
is,
with some plan. And yes, I'm saying that in the same room as the old man.
Ziggy, there are double owl buddies.
Where's the other one? Oh,
Oh,
I added that one for you.
oh my god.
Oh, well, there's only this one.
Alright, then.
Oh, well, that one had all the health and stuff. Never mind.
Fine. Fine. 0 owl buddies.
No.
I got
Nobody.
it. He already got poofed once. There.
Yay.
He already got wrecked by a swarm of centipedes.
Don't remind me.
If I'm correct, he got critted for almost max damage.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
You only had 1 HP.
No kill like overkill. I mean, then again, that seems to be the plan that you guys are going with this vampire spawn.
If Owl Buddy goes first, he'll just give someone the help action to do a crit possible.
Alright. By the way, Zal, they are in this room.
That room?
Alright, so Dovovich is starting to freak out more and more, seeming more restless as time goes on, with 4 people, or 3 people and a thing wielding weapons.
Father Dovovich, it's been 3 years your son no longer exists. Let us in to end it.
He's still my son. I can save him. I know I can.
I'm just gonna put my hand on his shoulder and just say, no, you can't. He is dead.
No, he's down there. You
That's
can
just
hear
that
him.
is a body. Your son is dead.
It's too late. You didn't cure him when he first turned. It's been 3 years now. Trust me, I'm a wizard. I know this shit.
Father Dovovich seems to just start screaming and drop into a ball on the ground. Almost like a child being told they can't have a sweet. At this point, you're pretty sure you're gonna have to move him yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pick him up.
I'm gonna knock his ass out.
Fuck! Okay.
That works.
I'm guessing you're just chucking him into the hallway.
No, I'm gonna gently just take my weapon and hit him with the blunt end and drag him out.
So you now have a concussed man just leaning in the hallway on the ground.
It's what had to be
Hold
done.
on, not even that. You're warning. You're just going to gently. I'm sorry, but have you ever knocked someone out? It is not a gentle process.
I'm just gonna gently concuss him.
Oh,
He'll be
shit.
fine. He'll be fine. He's in a church. He'll heal.
Just gonna-
It's not like I want to kill him. He's just putting lives in danger.
You're just gonna hit him as hard as you can.
Literally.
The minimum of knocking him out.
Honestly, that probably would have killed him.
Well,
That
if you specified non-lethal damage, it wouldn't have. You'd put him at 1 HP at worst.
Jesus Christ,
I am gonna say, due to that 20, he is bleeding a bit on the back of his head. Just a little
but
bit.
he's
Christ.
fine.
I'll go get a pillow from another room and put it under his head.
All right.
And just...
So, it is a... the chain looks extremely rusted, further confirming that it has been years since this door has been opened. And the door, or the trapdoor itself, seems to be swollen a bit, fitting far more snugly to the frame of it.
Fighter opens door.
We no longer have a fighter. We have a magical girl.
I
think
am a
Hayner should
fighter
open the
still.
door.
I'm still a fighter.
Hey, he's still a fighter. He's just multi-classed as a magical girl.
I'm just a fighting girl.
I think
You're-
Hayner
you're-
should lead the charge since he can't be turned.
Alright, you're a magical girl with bara titties.
I am the buffest magical girl.
Alright, you want Hayner to open it up?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea.
Alright. He has to be ordered.
Hey, open up the door for us.
Okay. Let me close that because I'm not going to use it just for another few moments. It does have to be a strength check, so... Fuck. Please. There we go.
Nice.
He grabs the chain by the lock, and with one arm he pulls it off as if it was nothing. Then...
Quickly, everyone in!
he will have... Well, that's just the chain. The door seems to be stuck a little more. Like, it's not more stuck, but just... He's having a little hard time.
Fighter, help him open door.
I can do that.
Roll with advantage since you're helping. I mean, it should be set to advantage, but...
Damn it.
Nope.
This
Well,
is one very stuck door.
well, both of you are going together again, so... Alright. With the two of you helping each other, it looks almost comedic that these two very large beings are just tugging on this door until it just pops open.
It's actually kind of funny.
And you said that you were sending either Hayner or Owlbuddy down first?
Oh no, Hayner can go down
Yeah.
first.
Hayner, go down now.
Alright. Hayner is down and
One of
walks
you go
down the
down now.
stairs.
All of you go. I'll follow in last. Close the door.
Why not the wizard last?
Because, yeah.
Fine. I'm just gonna hop down then.
Alright, let me move you. Your turn, Chunhua?
Yes.
And then me and Owl Buddy.
Ooh, the columns look dope.
Oh, yeah. As the church's undercroft has rough-hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. Rotten wooden pillars strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling. Candlelight from the chapel above slips through the cracks, giving you a glimpse to a gaunt shape in the far corner.
In which corner?
This way.
Okay.
Alright, well, Hayner's gonna move over here.
I'm just following behind them.
Let me do this for him. Yeah, it's cool looking, huh? Hayner, as he gets to about here, his eyes go from its usual blue shade to a yellow. And the few cracks where his joints are light up the same color.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's the fun thing about him not talking. You don't know shit about him.
I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to see if he responds to commands to talk after this. You guys ready?
Ready.
Let me just pull up the sheet form again. Please. Please. That's right, I have to click it. I'm dumb. As Shump gets closer, you hear the shape sing, I smell a new soul. I smell food. And this sickly boy appears in front of you. Or appears in the light in front of you, crouching, looking at you with almost wanting eyes and hands following suit.
May smell food, but I see only a decrepit being who must be killed.
Let me show you what this dude looks like, by the way.
Oh, yikes.
He is not very pretty.
No, he isn't. Then again, 3 years in a dungeon will do that to ya.
You're almost sure that he's about as insane as his father at this point. Speaking of insane, popping open my mead now. Ooh, that smells good. Right, so how do you want to handle this?
Then Hainer on towards it.
Alright. I'm pouring my drink, but
Yeah, we hear it.
my bad. I'm dumb. So Hainer seems to nod and move forward. As he actually gets in close, Doru screeches and attacks. Everyone roll for initiative. Oh, I have to clear that real quick. Fuck.
Now order that. Order 22.
Well, I'll just add it in manually.
Okay.
How do I do this? Fuck.
Sorry, I did it twice.
Damn it.
You gotta click your token first.
I did.
What'd you get? 19? And... Alright. Well... He attacks... Doru attacks first, since that's what triggered. He's gonna go for a claw attack. And that hits for 14 points of damage. No, 13. And Hainer has to make a strength saving throw to avoid being grappled. He fails.
That's... Hainer, you're supposed to grapple him!
As the being's claws rakes down Hainer's chest, you just hear the shearing of metal and rock falling from him. Right. From that, it is Chunhua's turn.
Is it
I thought
Chunhua?
she would first.
Isn't it Shumps?
No, Shump, my bad.
Kyle.
Sorry. Alright, it's Shump's turn.
I'm just going to run in right in front of him, and I'm no, not hand axe the mole, just on him as hard as I can.
Okay.
That's bad.
That is a miss.
Want to use it, but at the same time, I do want to get a hit in.
You have an inspiration die.
Yeah, I forgot to do. Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay. Roll again.
This time with feeling.
And a miss.
Jesus Christ!
How do you
Okay.
get to 13? Oh,
And I have a +7 to hit. I feel wholly inadequate.
it's okay. Everything will be fine.
Hmm.
I guess that'll be it for me.
All right. It
I'm
is
wall because he hits
Chunhua.
hard.
Alright, good one. And then,
Attacking.
yes.
Need help? Do you need me to click for you?
I'm trying to use Eldritch Blast.
Let me pop you open then, real quick. That sounded wrong. Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. It should be in the attacks
It
and
was working, I just do it.
spellcasting.
Alright. So it would be an attack roll with it. It'd be an attack roll plus your spell
Spell
ability.
attack modifier.
Yeah.
What?
I believe I know how to do it.
Actually, this is super easy because if you there's a little eye for the compendium, and you can actually drag and drop Eldritch Blast into your attacks and spellcasting from there, and it does the attacks and spellcasting thing for you.
Compendium.
Compendium spells all the way down to E.
Some places. Oh, fuck. It's a drag and drop.
Yep. And then you just yeet this base description because these ones are actually. I mean, if it's an attack, well, then it's completely useless as this kind of thing.
Yeah. Roll 1d20 plus 2 for your attack. We'll figure out the issue after this. Slash RD20 plus 2. That is a miss. The blast itself goes past Dora and just knocks some dirt out of the wall. Which leads us to Zexel Zara.
Alright, the wizard finally can do stuff. I am going to move over here. Let's see. Do I want to be over there or do I want to be over here? I don't know. How about over here? Yes. And this is where things get interesting because I am going to use
You ripping your mask off?
no, not yet because that requires an action. I am going. Let's see. It says one willing creature. Hmm.
Oh, fuck. I am
All right.
stupid.
Well, I'm going to Dragon's Breath. I am touching the fighter magical girl, and for a minute, he is able to cone things for 3d6 on a spell save of 14. And that is my turn.
Alright, that is 10 rounds. Leading us to Hainer. For a brief second, he looks over at Shump.
Try to get out and hit him.
He nods and his eyes go from its yellow color into a deep red, looking at the vampire in front of him.
Okay, so it is attack mode.
He grabs his sword with both hands and digs deep into the dirt wall behind Doru.
Well, I did say try.
Next is Doru, who isn't liking being surrounded by people and is actually going to release his grapple and start climbing up the wall. The ceiling is about 15 feet. No, 20 feet.
Would attack of opportunity?
Yep.
Okay.
So, Hainer's gonna take his attack. Because you both get one.
Because it's a reaction.
And that's a hit.
It's finally a hit.
For 9 slashing damage.
Pretty good.
And that is a miss. The weapon... As Hainer actually swings his sword down, it seems almost to glide over the creature's skin for a brief moment before actually digging in and cutting him. And Zal remembers that they are resistant to non-magical weapons of slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing.
Yes.
So now he is about 20 feet onto the ceiling above you.
He's out of range.
Is there any chance Owl Buddy can get him down?
Owl Buddy is an owl and cannot attack.
Yeah. And since he's on the ceiling, he can't necessarily drop a rock onto him either.
Maybe he just can go over like pick its eye or something. I don't
That's
know.
an attack, unfortunately.
Yes.
Haven't you played Pokemon?
No, the last time I played Pokemon was like Fire Red.
They still had Peck and Fire Red.
Alright. Owl Buddy is going to go over towards you, Shump, giving you the help action. And then for the rest of his movement, he's actually going to go away. Fly away, Owl Buddy. And that's
Hey, here's your help. Bye.
Alright. Which leads us back to Shump.
Shump, do a thing.
Now, check your inventory because I know 3 people grabbed crossbows.
The wizard doesn't have a crossbow.
I don't have a crossbow either, but I do have a hand axe I can throw.
There was
And
3
you have advantage.
crossbows,
Yeah.
and all 3 were
I-
grabbed. What the fuck happened?
I forgot.
I literally do not have one.
Alright. Let this be a learning point.
Yeah. I'm just gonna reach out and grab a hand axe and just chuck it at the guy, screaming, "Get back down here!"
Get over here! That is a hit.
Let's see, so it's hand axe plus. Did you already do the?
You should be able to just click it. You should just be able to click hand
Wait.
axe in it. Oh, what the fuck just happened? There we go. Alright.
Okay, it shouldn't be doing mod damage, but so that's 6, and because it's resistance, that's 3. Okay.
So yeah, the hand axe seems to graze past his arm, or his shoulder, just tearing off a small bit of flesh. Is that the end of your turn?
I don't have anything else to reach him, so yeah.
Couldn't you technically use my dragon breath? Technically,
If it's labeled as a bonus action, he'd be able to.
it is a bonus action,
He'd be able to.
Okay, how
and
do I do that?
it's a 15-foot cone. Would that still hit him?
He is. No, he's about 20 feet onto the. It enter his hitbox. It enter his hitbox.
Because Shump should be over 5 feet tall,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
if the ceiling is 20 feet tall, it should be within range.
Yep. Yeah, I'll say it's in range.
So
Okay.
3d6 fire
With the DC 14 challenge against it on Dex. I
challenge
believe.
rating. Yes, dexterity saving throw.
So do I roll 3d6?
Yes.
He fails.
and it's full damage.
All right.
10 fire damage.
You guys are doing better than my other group. Just saying.
Hooray for being
More this time,
wizard.
just scream, "Get down here, I said!"
You like
With the coat of flame unleashing from you into Doru, you hear his screaming in pain, and his the skin on his body actually bubbling a bit. Which leads us to Chunhua.
Oh, does that mean that if he's vulnerable to fire, is that an additional 5 damage?
He
Please
is.
tell me this is so.
He's not vulnerable. He just has. He's just not resistant. Witch bolt.
Okay.
That is a hit. Witch bolt hits.
So that's 1d12.
5 damage, and I believe it's a concentration, so you can continue it every turn.
For a minute.
That's 10 rounds. Anything else, Chunhua? Would you like to ready something? Or would you like to move, perhaps?
I guess I'll ready the silver short sword.
Alright. Which brings us back to our lovely mage, Zexelzera.
I mean, unless I wanted to just throw my dagger at him, I actually can't do anything because I have to stay within range to keep touching the fighter, and I can't add a new creature. Well, I have to touch, right? So I could technically still touch Hanner and give him fire breathing, right? Or is
Technically.
that only during when I cast a spell initially? I think I'm going to go with that. Therefore, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just Haner's turn.
So with Hayner, he is going to he's going to stick his sword into the ground and take out that long stick on his back and chuck it at him.
Hey, there we go.
That is a hit
Woo.
for 1 damage. By all technicality, it did pierce into his leg.
But it only did one death.
He dropped.
It doesn't. Unfortunately, the clinging ability doesn't require an ability check. So, no, it's not considered concentration. It can't be broken easily. Which leads us to Doru, who's going to take this chance to run in the ceiling and make a stealth check to try to hide. 17.
That's above my passive list.
That is above my passive as well.
And he disappears, continuing
Oh,
his
no.
last 5 feet of movement.
Ah, shit.
There. Which brings us to Owl Buddy, who possibly has the best chance of discovering where this little shit is.
Owl Buddy has a passive of 13, but has advantage on perception checks.
You can take your action to do a perception check if you wish.
Owl Buddy will do that.
You have to beat whatever he rolled.
He rolled a 17
Mm-hmm.
the first time, so. And that's advantage, so 1d20. Well, technically it's 2.
You can roll 2 d20. I mean, we'll just look at the individuals.
20 plus 3.
Alright. He actually does spot him
not-
with a 19.
Nice.
I love that I can hide him. And that brings us... Huh?
And Owl Buddy can still move.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to move Owl Buddy over here. And giving yeah. And that's Owl Buddy's. He basically makes a big noise like an owl noise of warning for over here, and then moves over there.
Alright, which leads us back to Shump. You're in here, you're good, you listen to everything we say. Got it? I know, I'm telling you now. Right, so it's Shump's turn.
I'm gonna grab the little hand axe from the ground, run over to him, and throw it up at him again.
Alright, make an attack roll.
Critical.
Ooh.
20.
I'm gonna say he has to make a check, because that's a crit. He passed. Right, so... That is 15 damage. Oh wait, I forgot he actually is supposed to heal 10. So I'm gonna say he lost 5, so... To compensate that, I forgot he healed 10.
How does he heal 10?
He has a passive regeneration.
Does it get canceled by anything?
You can make a check on your turn for it.
Okay.
So I get throw it up at him, and is that halved at all?
Your damage... Actually, yeah, it was halved, so...
So 7.
7.
Yeah.
Alright, and do I still have that dragon breath
Yes.
thing?
Well,
It
you moved
stays...
away from me.
It stays effective until the beginning of your turn's out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use it again, just screaming at him. Get the fuck down here!
Fire breath, roll.
Oh no, not 50.
Dexterity.
He failed.
So a full 9.
9.
Alright. Sophia, sit down. Alright, which brings us back to Chunhua.
If I move, does that count as using my action to do something else?
No.
Okay.
Movement is its own action.
Because I want to keep him in range.
Just sit. Find what thing? No. You don't need it right now. Alright. That... Oh, you didn't do an attack roll.
That's
witch
the
bolt.
that's, that's Witch Bolt.
I forgot. You could... I believe you could still do a non-spell attack.
As long as she does a spell that doesn't require concentration,
She
like a
has...
cantrip, she could do.
She has a crossbow. And she still has those 5 special bolts.
Ooh, she does.
Huh?
Eldritch Blasts require concentration?
No.
But...
The level of no. The sound is astounding.
I'm still eager for somebody to use those bolts for the first time.
Alright, fine, I'll use one of those bolts.
Alright.
Then again, I know all about Eldritch Blast because I like playing Warlocks. So
Oh, she got super excited when she saw that she could multi-class into Warlock spells. Or not even multi-class, just level up into it.
I mean,
What?
part of me thinks that a Hexblade would actually work really well with her class.
Do you need help? Alright, that's the first one's a hit. Go roll normal damage.
You should, yeah. There
for
we go.
piercing, then add 1d4 fire, 1d4 force.
Okay.
So just 2d4. Alright, so it does 8 damage in total.
Woo.
As the bolt strikes Doru, it explodes into a fireball, about 5 feet in diameter, or 5 feet in radius. The shockwave itself actually knocks dirt down from the ceiling as it reverberates the church.
Those are pretty good. So, does he take like 2d6 force bludgeoning damage from falling?
He is 20 feet up, so it would be... Yeah. Well, with that force, he would have to make another dex save to not fall. He failed. So...
2d6. 2d6.
Roll 2d6.
Hey Ziggy, there's a little toolbar on the side that has a little dice icon, and you could roll dice on there, just saying.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second. I have my little tabs blocking it lightly, so I Forgot to look at it. Alright. So that leads us to Zexelzera. Doru is now on the ground, stunned and prone.
Okay, that means he's
He is vulnerable.
fucked. He is fucked. Because here's the thing. I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard, Harry. And I'm going to mask off.
Oh no.
I don't know what that means.
He's a Scourge ASMR.
I don't know. I've never played with one.
You want their mask to stay on if you don't like them.
Oh.
Alright, go ahead.
I take off my mask, and then it's like I'm on fire from the inside out.
It is holy fire, correct? So it would be a white flame?
Yes. This bastard right here, as I'm doing this, is taking 3 radiant damage. Actually, no, equal to half my level, so rounded up. So that's 2 damage of radiant damage.
So 2 damage
just by taking my mask off. And then I can bonus action Dragon's Breath on myself. Because remember, it's touch. Adding 3 radiant damage to the 3d6. So roll his dexterity.
You are far too excited about this. He fails.
Oh, and this is 3d6 plus 3.
Okay.
So 11 fire damage plus 3 fire radiant damage.
Alright. He just squirms and screams in an unholy rage as his body's being burnt and blistered.
Oh, and this is in a cone like this. So it's not hitting Shump. I'm being nice.
I'd assume. Which brings us to Hainer. He is going to go right here, take his longsword with both hands, and swing down for a 20. Which is 1d10 plus 2. He swings his sword down, cutting deep into the back of Doru's neck, leaving the sinew and the spine exposed. As Doru's turn starts, radiant damage was used on him, so his healing doesn't take effect.
So,
which he is freaking the fuck out. He's going to use his movement action, or half his movement action, to stand up and book it to about here, which provokes attack of opportunity from 3 people.
Yeah.
Oh, dagger attack. I miss.
Hit by Shump. You don't get one.
Okay.
It's a shame I didn't get advantage. Oh well, I'll still take it.
Hit. Oh.
So 13.
Shump. As he runs away, you just take your maul and knock his head clean off, and it splatters against the wall with a hard, sickening thump.
Awesome.
I like that.
The body twitches as it's trying to understand that it is now dead. I didn't even roll damage for Hainer.
Well, that was way better than when I did this the other time.
Yeah, the other party went down 3 times during this fight.
Oh,
This is kind of the perks of having veteran players.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Shump, but you took 2 damage to everyone within 10 feet of me did. And when the fight is over, I just put my mask back on.
I take 2 damage because your mask was off.
Yep.
Yes.
It's as if you're looking into the face of a deity itself within their own realm.
Oh, okay.
Never
Weird
piss
mask.
off an ASMR.
And we have 2 of these fuckers in the party.
Oh shit.
Fuck, I forgot to see how much XP that was worth.
Yeah, so essentially, every time I level up, I gain more damage to my Scourge ability.
Oh. I'm gonna do a perception check to see if there's any of the dream seeds.
Alright, a large one, I'm guessing, you want to find?
Yeah.
That's a win.
Hey, sweet. So I
That's
have
an
a
18. You have a large one. Minus 4 people. Hang on. Quick math.
Well, you could always do -3,
It's...
right?
Yeah, fuck it. Y'all get 500 XP. This was a CR5, by the way. Just him.
Did each of us get 500?
Yes.
Right.
No, wait, hang on. No, 600, sorry. 1,800 divided by 3.
So 1,500, because last time we were at level 3, which is 900,
Yep,
and
you're at
yeah.
1,500 XP now.
Oh, nice.
As Shump actually approached the body and removed the soul seed from it, he actually notices the body starting to burn away bit by bit, leaving nothing but blackened bones.
Pull it
I
bones
didn't-
away.
I didn't
I'm
even
going to.
need that check. It's like, fuck
No.
it, SMR.
How do the clothes look?
They look like rags at this point. I mean, they were never that great to begin with, but they're almost unusable. Why?
I was gonna bring them up for the father.
No, you can always make a quick check down there to find something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Be another perception or
Mhm.
investigation.
Perception. Right. You do manage to find the bedding that he used. It's torn up, but there's enough usable to put the bones in.
Okay, I'm gonna get that, put the bones in, and carry it up when we all decide to leave from down here.
Alright. Want me to move you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just gonna keep on heading out for the door.
Father Doru is still unconscious and bleeding on the ground from his head, from Chunhua just bitch slapping him.
Well, I put a pillow under
Well,
his
to be fair,
head, so
yeah, to be fair, we
pillow's
won't
catching
down
the
the
blood a little bit.
I'm going to be a good,
Then again,
nice
a borderline
wizard.
bomb went off, like, just under where the altar would be.
I bet it shook. I'm gonna be a nice wizard and do a medicine check to stop the bleeding before he just dies from.
He does have 1 HP, so...
Did I really hit him that hard?
You hit a 20 on an old man who had 9 HP.
My bad.
Alright, you stabilize him. I'm gonna say he goes up back to about 4 HP for the gnat. I know it doesn't supposed to, but... fuck him. Alright, so we're just gonna leave him on the ground. Shump is still carrying the bones.
I'm just gonna go. Shump, just leave the bones next to the unconscious old man, and we could leave this place. And leave the crazy old priest here in his grief
We'll just leave a note that says sorry for your loss.
again.
But would that fit your alignments? That's the question. Hey, you're gonna tear it.
No, I'm trying to keep raising it. It's not.
You're doing it too hard.
If it's mine,
What's your alignment?
evil.
You're neutral evil? Alright, yeah, it'd fit you.
Yeah, I'm neutral good. I kind of want to wake him, but I'm not opposed to just leaving the bones.
You could always just... yeah.
I'm chaotic good. I thought it was a good thing to kill the vampire.
Well, yes, it is a good thing to kill.
By all means, leaving him the bone in itself isn't inherently evil, and the bones themselves, nor do Father Dovovich present such a threat to you that you would perceive them as it causing future harm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, at least write something on the bag to know, or these cloth to know it, so he knows it's his son.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
Besides, I thought it was within my alignment to make sure he doesn't bleed to death.
Fair enough. Son of a bitch.
Because Chudwa just knocked him unconscious.
Yeah, just bitch slap the old man.
Um,
I mean, I get it, he was being a bit of a bitch, but you didn't have to bitch slap him.
alright. So, Hayner, as everything is going on, he pulls out a couple tools and starts working on his body. You can assume that he's making repairs.
Okay, before I forget about it, Hano, can you talk?
He just looks at you with green eyes.
What does the blue eyes mean? Other than you're a dragon.
He doesn't...
No struggle for my bad joke.
I smiled, but he just kind of keeps looking at you. You have the feeling that he understands you, but he doesn't have the means to speak.
Does blue mean you're on gold?
He just kind of stands up straight and his eyes turn blue.
Okay, blue is on gold. Got it.
The wizard thinks we should just give him a pen and paper and have him write things.
That is 100% up to you guys.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like that meme where someone is holding a sign, or that old talkless duckling where the one with the trumpet, I remember.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trumpeting duckling book, if you guys remember that.
That book was fucked up to a degree.
I loved that
No,
book.
the thing that was fucked up is that it takes a pair of toenail clippers to the webbing of its feet.
What?
Yes. It cuts the webbing of its feet with toenail clippers.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about, and all I'm hearing is something that is grossly horrifying.
This
It
was a
was
children's
about
book.
it was a book about a goose that couldn't make any sound, and so it basically learned how to use a trumpet.
It's weird.
Instead of happy feet, instead of happy feet, it was using it was a trumpet. It was a trumpeter swan that learned how to use a trumpet. No, not a trumpet. It was like,
It was a horn. It was a bugle. It was a bugle.
yeah, yeah.
It's horrifying. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like we've never had this conversation. I want to wipe it from my memory.
I was actually talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Too bad
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
now
wipe
on stream and now forever on the internet.
I am going to write on the cloth that these are his son's bones, and that he should bury them because they all
All right.
not have lived for this long.
Pretty
after
much,
he-
you're writing instructions saying, bury these or we'll be back.
much, yeah.
All right. So I'm guessing you're going to be leaving said church now,
Yes.
Yeah.
leading back to the village of Barovia.
Should we have written that? Sorry about the divine explosion.
One was
It's
divine,
fine.
the other wasn't.
The other was force.
Sorry for the divine and the unholy explosion.
All right. You don't exist here. Not yet. Not till next week or next session. So, as you're actually all up here, though. Boop. There. As you actually leave, you hear the sound of small wooden wagon wheels rolling across damp cobbles. You trace the lonely sound to a hunched figure bundled in rags pushing a rickety cart through the fog.
If I remember right, weren't we brought here by an old man in a wagon?
Well, this one is much, much smaller.
Okay.
We're
I go
talking,
over and
it's borderline the cabbage merchant's wheelbarrow.
The
Ha.
dinosaur the last airbender?
Yeah, I realized that reference. Anyway, I say, "Hail, friend!"
Alright, let me see if I can find her picture real quick. She does look at you and seems to almost rush pushing her cart.
We
I
mean
don't
no
blame her.
harm. We're just a band of
It doesn't-
adventurers.
Is that? I don't know if we mean home. You literally have an orc wearing a skull.
I don't know if this is going to show you guys. Oh, wait, here it is. Here it is. Here you go. That's what you see.
Oh dear God.
Creepy.
She kind of rushes forth a little more, pushing her cart away, almost as if she's avoiding you.
I don't really blame her. Again, called an orc in a skull. I would be running away. I'd be trying to get away too.
You do hear... roll a perception check real quick. Perception check?
Oh, sorry.
John,
What?
the headphones copying you.
I know nothing.
You know that there's people alive in this town. That's about it. Alright. So, Shump, you can actually hear this old woman speaking to someone.
Did I see anyone else?
No, there's, like, as she went down the street. You hear her talking about pastries and a debt.
I think her pastry's dead.
What'd you say?
I think her pastries are in debt.
You after a moment, you hear the scream of someone as well as the sound of a child.
I'm not even gonna wait. I'm just gonna sprint to where was the sound? I'm just gonna sprint to it.
About here.
I
Follow the fighter.
was say I don't have control of my own token.
What the? God damn it! I forgot to change the map of Barovia. There.
There we go.
As you follow her for a moment, you see her giving a small bag to a woman and greedily grabbing what looks to be about a 7-year-old child.
Yeah, I'm not
Kidnapping?
even.
Huh?
I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just gonna run up and just straight up tackle the old woman.
I said she's kidnapping.
Ziggy. Ziggy organization.
Oh, shit. Well, I set myself to busy, so I don't get notifications.
Yeah, you're at do not disturb, but there's an in joke that I'm trying to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother asking questions. I'm just gonna straight up tackle the old woman.
She screams loudly, and the child kind of tumbles out of her arms. Please, please leave me. I'll tell you what you want. Leave me be.
What are you doing with the child?
This child is owed to me. A debt. The woman took what was mine and never gave what was hers.
While he's
So you are taking her
Square.
child?
It was promised.
I'm gonna check on the
I
child.
don't care.
The child seems to be fine, just very scared. What would you expect me to do? She owed me an exorbitant amount. She never paid.
Okay, I'm going to ignore her for a second and look at the kid and just say, "Go back to your mother."
The child seems a bit paralyzed, but you can't tell why.
Okay, my attention is now fully back on the old hag.
I swear I did nothing to him. You can check. There's nothing of me that could have done anything to him. I simply held him for a moment before you struck me to the ground.
I'm going to Arcana check the kid.
You sense no magic from the kid.
Damn it! I hate the low Arcana check.
I'm just gonna try to intimidate the old hag, saying, "You don't take children."
I mean, technically, eggs take children.
It's not.
Yeah,
I'm not kidnapping a child. The child was agreed to settle the debt.
children.
What normal
are not
person agrees to
COVID
take a child
free.
for a debt?
Many people in this forsaken town. The Night Mother and the Morning Lord would themselves wouldn't save such a child. This town is cursed.
I don't know who those are. I don't care. Children are not currency.
I'm simply taking them back to my home where they can live.
Your home.
Yes.
And where would that be?
An old bone grinder. That is what the locals call it. It's a windmill on a hill not far north of here. Less than a day's travel.
I'm sorry, I want to make sure I heard you right. Did you say bone grinder?
Well, she did say it was a mill.
It is a windmill. I did not give it its name. The locals did. Those of Valaki gave it its name.
Wait,
No, I was asking you, Ziggy, like as
Yeah, yeah. It's called Old
Oh,
Bone Grinder.
there was
Sorry,
no
hold that
symbolism in the death house.
You
That
can
is-
actually bring that up.
Yeah, I'm bringing up that there was windmill symbolism in the death house.
Did you hear her?
Yeah, windmill symbolism in the
Yeah.
bathhouse.
Yeah, the haunted house, the dungeon.
So I don't trust.
The level of not trust is really high.
Yeah.
At the
No.
same time, Wizard is going to.
Is gonna what?
Insight.
No, insight. Alright.
Then again, Wizard literally has 0 in this check, so maybe I'll just completely believe.
You don't sense. You sense an anger in her, but it doesn't seem malicious. It's kind of. You'd agree to it, or you'd find it similar as if just someone bumped into you on the road.
She.
I
How
can
level of
understand
anger-
that because
Like-
Buster
She just got tackled by a orc in a tutu.
It is a scout. Get it right.
Hey, she will insult you any way she sees fit.
And I have a goddamn maul.
What can I do to make you see that this payment, this contract, was just, enforced and approved by the laws of this town?
I'm just gonna look at the mother. Like, did you agree?
If 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 I didn't, she would have every right over my home. This house has been our family for generations.
I'm just gonna throw my arms up in defeat. This whole town is fucked.
So the kid doesn't want to lose the house.
The mother doesn't.
Oh,
The kid is being given to pay off the debt to this woman that is still kind of pinned to the ground.
her kid is more important.
Yeah. I am obliged to agree with you. But man, this town is fucked.
Well, there are many things about this town you don't know. You heard of the Night Mother and Morning Lord. You heard that magics have a bit of a different effect in this land than what you're used to.
Ziggy, I don't need to know much about the town. There was a haunted house. There was a vampire in the church. They're giving children away to Chelsea. This town is fucked. This town is just fucked.
Are you letting the old woman up?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Alright. Fuck. I'm warping that token in ways I didn't mean to. Fuck. No! I'm not trying to stretch it. Alright. So the old woman gets up, dusts herself off, and says, I would like to let all this come to pass as if it never happened. Would you like to partake in one of my dream pastries?
Yo, what now?
They're called dream pastries. She points to the cart that is just filled with a number of pastries. 'Tis only 1 gold each.
No.
1 gold? No.
Aye. 'Tis your loss, but not mine.
I mean, it kind of is her loss, and she ain't getting money, but
Yeah.
I was simply wishing to reconcile this issue. Food does often bring peace.
Eating anything with the name with the word sleep in its name.
It said dream, not sleep. For all you know, they could
whatever.
be truly dreamy.
Or could put me to sleep.
Arcana check on the cookies.
There is no magic emanating from the cookies either.
Damn it.
You do sense a small bit of magic coming from the cart itself, though.
Huh. Suspicion levels of suspicion rising.
Even if she's not suspicious with her pastries, I just don't want to fund a woman who accepts a child as payment.
For
No,
all
yeah.
you know, my home could be much better than this town. You know not what a whole boat and grinder is if you happen to not know the name itself.
Bring us though.
Well, the wizard pipes up. We're strangers to this land. We were brought in by the mist, you see, so everything will cause a misunderstanding.
Oh, the mist, yes. There is a camp a bit to the west of here, of Vestani. Maybe they can help you.
Where do you know this? Where the camp is?
Ah, yes, yes. If you may, if you may show me a map, I can point to where it is. As the map is actually shown, it looks about 30 minutes away from the city. But I cannot take you there. I have at least 2 more days in this city before I leave.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
perfectly. That's perfectly fine. We can travel
Well,
on our own. We
I'm
don't
gonna
need
look
any
back.
help.
I'm gonna look back at Zexon like that is not fine. She is taking children.
A legal debt to a legal contract.
Yes, and um as contracts are binding between lawful people, this is perfectly fine. I mean, I am chaotic. I mean, outside of RP, I am chaotic good. At the same time, I want to. My character is um more concerned with finding the Stani and getting out of here as soon as possible than giving a damn right now.
I'm gonna look back at Shun Waj like, is this? Are we actually just gonna let this happen?
Chunhua? Shh! We told you to stop. Chunhua.
I don't like it, but I guess there's nothing we can do about it. However, if I
Yes, there
hear
is.
anything bad has happened to this child because this woman took it, I'm coming back.
We will raise all sorts of holy and unholy retribution.
Very few threats like that take any fear in me. I have seen both manners of the beast in this land.
All I'm saying is, if you truly have good intentions for the child, there's no reason to worry regardless.
Who's the lord of this village, town? Mention them.
They actually left the town, remember? Because you guys
Yeah,
got sucked back into the death house.
yeah. They're the
Right.
one that hired us to do the escort, but we got sucked into the house.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. Whatever. I'll just
As the
total
woman
blame.
travels down the street, at one point she seems to almost, or the child's crying and her sound of the wagon seemed to almost vanish.
I'm just gonna peek my head around the corner and
Uh, you
where?
can you can roll a perception check if you wish.
The wizard was correct. Out of character, I was correct to assume this.
Yeah, hag. No question about it.
You
That's
find
hag.
nothing. You guys actually would have found out almost immediately she was a hag from the parents if you guys actually befriended Dovovich.
Oh, fuck.
Instead, you murdered his son, and he would have given you a lot of other information.
Well, he was a menace to society.
Hey, I don't consider what we did moldering. He was already dead.
Alright. Now what are you guys going to do?
Guess we'll head to that little.
I guess go to the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, we're like level 3. We can't deal with a hag. What's so fucking effort?
Wait.
Wait, you guys took down a level 5 vampire spawn.
Yeah.
Hags are like level 8.
What about...
No, they're level 5 alone.
Oh.
There was that...
A coven's level 7.
There was that crying woman that we never got to investigate as well.
True. But at this point, are you sure she's still crying?
I mean,
Probably not.
at the same time,
You could search back in the area. You remember where it was.
Yeah, it was like across from the tavern.
Yeah. You want me to take you there?
Sure.
Everyone else want to go there? Sophia, I swear, stop.
I mean, at the same time, I don't have my level 2 spell slots anymore, and I would need a short rest to get them.
But, you don't see any harm in talking to an old woman, do you? Stop! Yeah. So the woman does seem to be crying still. And... Here. This is what she looks like.
Wait, what do you want?
But you do hear her crying as you're walking past her house, quite loudly. A moaning sob floats through the still, gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sound flows from a dark two-story townhouse. Inside is a woman in rags, sitting on the ground, just sobbing. What you gonna do?
Well, kind of off-put that her name's apparently Mad Mary.
I'm just gonna open up the door.
At this point, everyone in this town seems mad.
I guess I'll ask her what's wrong.
She wipes her eyes and smiles for a moment. You don't have to waste your time on an old woman. Well, but my daughter was taken from me. As she says that, she holds out a little bit a malformed doll. And she just seems to be clutching it with a gentle but protective grasp.
Was it perchance by the old woman that we have most possibly met just earlier? The one with the dream pastry cart?
No, it was the devil himself.
Strahd, of course.
Yes, he took her. I know not where she is now, but he took her. My darling Gertruda.
How long has it been?
Years. Alright, it says it's been about but she tells you that a dream has been haunting her daughter for many months, or she says many moons.
Did she describe the dream to you?
Never, just piercing eyes looking at her and outreached hands. She seems to be holding the doll and moving the cloth on it very gently. All I have left is this doll. It's the only thing that I know that she was real. If you happen to find her, please send her home.
What's her name?
Gertruda.
Well, if we happen to find her, we will try.
That's all I can ask in this bleak land. May the Morning Lord protect you in your travels and return my daughter unto me. As she says that, she just looks at the doll and starts crying more.
Alright, guess we'll go to camp now.
You want to leave for the camp?
Yes.
Okay, let me bring you to map of Barovia. I gotta zoom out because I'm super far in. Right now, you're down here. I didn't mean to click the road. Apparently the road itself is a token. But you're all down on the eastern side. I'm trying to just click, but it's not letting me. Here.
I'll just put it onto map view, actually. Put the map on the map view.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I actually don't know how to put it into map view.
It should be in the DM settings.
You mean my settings?
Yes. Like, you get, like, in the toolbar, you have access to, like, a map view, the DM view, and everyone view, so...
Huh?
It's almost 10.
You want to just end it here then? Alright, Mrs. says we have to end it here to put Sophia to bed.
Alright.
That's fine. I was starting to get tired anyhow.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh yes. By the map and background view is the little um that symbol that looks like a little pin for, like, Google Maps and
Yeah, well, hitting that, but I don't know how to set it. I'm only seeing like a GM overlay in that. Oh, with that being said, let's on our way to explore the reaches of the Valley of Barovia. We will be stopping here and thanking everyone who has watched. Please take a look in the description. Donate if you can. Share if you can't donate. And try to help out Rise's family.
Please.
And with,
They're in a bad place financially because of my father's ICU stay. And I know I'm laughing, but it's how I cope with stress.
with
That's perfectly fine.
that, I want to say good night. Remember, someone out there loves you.